age of industrialization, hard labor, and steam power. Topics covered: life of workers, spinning jenny, and fluctuating wages. Life of workers. The abundance of labor in the market affected the lives of workers. As news of possible jobs traveled to the countryside, hundreds trammed to the cities. The actual possibility of getting a job depended on existing networks of friendship and kin relations. If you had a relative or a friend in a factory, you were more likely to get a job quickly, but not everybody had social connections. Many job seekers had to wait weeks, spending nights under bridges or in night shelters. Some stayed in refuges that were set up by private individuals. Others went to the casual wards maintained by the poor law authorities. Seasonality of work in many industries meant prolonged periods without work. After the busy season was over, the poor were on the streets again. Some returned to the countryside after the winter when the demand for labor in the rural areas opened up in places. But most looked for odd jobs, which till the mid century were difficult to find. Fluctuating wages. Wages increased somewhat in the early 19th century, but they tell us little about the welfare of the workers. The average figures hide the variation between trades and the fluctuations from year to year. For instance, when prices rose sharply during the prolonged Napoleonic War, the real value of what the workers earned fell significantly. Since the same wages could now buy fewer things. Moreover, the income of workers depended not only the wage rate alone. What was also critical was the period of employment. The number of days of work determined the average daily income of the workers. At the best of times, till the mid 19th century, about 10% of the urban population were extremely poor in periods of economic slump. Like the 1830s, the proportion of unemployed went up to anything between 35 and 75% in different regions. Spinning jenny. The fear of unemployment made workers hostile to the introduction of new technology. When the spinning jenny was introduced in the woolen industry, women who survived on hand spinning began attacking the new machines. This conflict over the introduction of jenny continued for a long time. After the 1840s, building activity intensified in the cities, opening up greater opportunity for employment. Roads were widened, new railway stations came up, railway lines were extended, tunnels dug, drainage and drainage and sewers laid, rivers embanked. The number of workers employed in the transport industry doubled in the 1840s and doubled again in the subsequent 30 years. Spinning jenny, devised by James in 1764, this machine speeded up the spinning process and reduced labor demand by turning one single wheel. A worker could set in motion several spindles and spin several threads at the same time.